Hey, what's going on guys, Wingsman here and welcome back to another video, and today guys I'm gonna be showing you 3 really cool tricks slash decorations you can make in Minecraft using a Dinnerbone name tag. If you guys are excited for that, make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe if you're new, and without further ado, let's get right into today's video. Starting off with a villager, you can see this one is just attached to a chain upside down and he has his head one block away from this stone cutter. Now this doesn't have to be a stone cutter, you can use fire, lava, maybe just have a massive drop. But you can see using the Dinnerbone technique this is really simple to make and it's really cool. Maybe if you're making like a pillager outpost, you can have a villager hanging upside down instead of having those standard like iron bar like cages or something. If you are making like a villager base and you want to have like a trapped pillager, then you can use them. Or if you're making some sort of a dungeon, of course you can have like a zombie. Now all of these tricks are gonna involve barrier blocks, so you're not gonna be able to do this in survival. But if you ask me, if you're doing these small details such as this one and the other ones I'm going to show you on the list, it's worth it in my opinion. If you are making like a custom map, this is definitely a decoration that a lot of people are gonna be impressed with. And of course you can't see the barrier blocks unless you're holding the actual barrier block in your hand. Without them it looks really amazing, and of course you are just gonna be able to see the villager hanging upside down. Now the best part about this in my opinion is that the villagers are actually going to kinda lean their head forward over here, and it looks like they're trying to maybe reach the actual train and escape, which makes it just a tiny bit better, and in my opinion it looks amazing. This one is a bit more interesting. It's using pretty much the same concept as the villager with the chain and just kinda hanging upside down. And this one is of course a pig hanging above of the actual campfire. And a lot of the like movies and stuff you usually see like a pig kinda spinning around above the fire. Now we can't really do that, so this is probably the next best thing. Of course we are still using the barrier blocks, making sure that the pig can't actually escape. And don't worry, he's not going to die, he's just gonna get a little smoky I guess. And of course we have the same train trick, this time it's actually connected to a slab, and over here we are just kinda connected it to the actual full block. But in my opinion this looks really amazing and you can definitely use it in any kind of like a camp. Maybe you can involve your base around the camp, or if you just kinda spend the night over there and you want some additional decoration, this is a perfect thing for you. You can see over here the pig is gonna be able to actually escape if we destroy these barrier blocks, but looks like he just kinda accepted his fate and just sits there all the time. But of course there is one last thing that I need to show you, which might be my personal favorite, which is going to be upside down spiders. Now tell me this doesn't look absolutely insane. Of course we have a little spider over here that's also surrounded with the barrier blocks, but you can see he's normal, just going on the ground. And then on the ceiling we have two spiders that are upside down hanging from the actual ceiling, which is something that doesn't usually happen in vanilla game. You know, the spider is just going to go, crawl along the wall, and just kinda sit over here, which looks pretty weird, and using this Dinnerbone trick just makes it 100 times scarier. If you had this room maybe darker, you're gonna be able to see their red eyes, and just the spiders that are upside down in vanilla game look just amazing to me at least. And of course this is also done with the barrier blocks. For the actual cave spider we need to have a little bit of a smaller cage. You can see it's just one block wide because they are really small. And for the normal spider we kinda need to have at least a 2x2 area of the actual barrier blocks, otherwise we're not gonna be able to actually place them inside. But of course using it with the little combination of the normal spider over here just hanging on the ground, not being upside down, and some cobwebs, this just makes an amazing look in my opinion. Again, with the barrier blocks it doesn't really look that great, but since no one is gonna have them in survival, this is definitely going to impress them. I'm going to show you how to make every single one of these decorations right now. And we're going to start off with the villager. Now we're going to start off with the actual stone cutter, but you can use campfire, fire, lava, or you can use like a massive drop. I'm just going to use the actual stone cutter because it kind of fits that dungeon style. What we want to do is make sure that we have at least one block above of the actual stone cutter. And over here we're going to go 2 blocks up from this. I'm just going to use stone brick because it's a little bit easier for you guys to see, not using the actual barrier blocks as the like temporary block. So we have one barrier block, we want to go 2 blocks out and just surround this over here. Since the villager is 2 blocks big, we don't want him to actually escape, so we don't have to fill everything, we're just going to use 5 of the barrier blocks. Then you can go ahead, spawn in your villager, and you can see it's just going to sit over here, not being able to escape, because the only free space is around its legs and he can't fit to one block. Then grab yourself the Dinnerbone name tag that has to be named like this. Just go ahead and follow that, maybe take a screenshot, and when you actually name him, of course he is going to turn upside down. You can use yourself the barrier blocks, place another temporary block right there, with the chain, and of course you can just place a block on top of the chain to make sure that it's kinda connected to something, and you are basically done. Of course you can actually hide the namer tag so that you are not going to have the Dinnerbone if you accidentally kinda go over here. And another thing you can do is actually kinda cover this up if you want. That way you're not going to have that trade message, but in my opinion, not a lot of people is actually going to kinda look at the villager and it's just going to be decoration. Although technically you can use it for trading if you set this up nicely, but that's all there is for this one. And now we get to the pig. We want to start off with the campfire. Now you can use lava, you can use fire for this, but in my opinion the campfire works the best because you have that smoke particle, and of course you have the wood texture and the ash underneath. I just think it looks a lot better than just using plain old fire. What we want to do is place a barrel block right on top of it, and of course since the pig is 1 block tall, we want to make sure that we are going to completely encase them just like this. And we are not going to be using the barrier block on top of it, we are just going to use a chain. So we just kind of want to make sure that we are going to do this fast. If not, don't worry, just build this 2 blocks high, that way the pig can jump out and you can still place him in. Grab yourself the name tag and make sure you're going to name him Dinnerbone, that way he gets upside down. Grab yourself the chain, place it right there, and now you can destroy these temporary little barrier blocks. Destroy all of them, and it's time to kinda put in this little thing over here, which just looks like it's holding the pig up. Now this is just my little creation, I put this in like less than 10 seconds. Of course you can use this design, or if you don't, you can use your own. But the way I did this is just by using some fence. Now we want to go 1 block away from the actual campfire, reason being is we have that actual barrier block on the side. If we try over here, we're not going to be able to place another one. So we're just going to go 1 block away from that, and you can see we actually used 4 fences. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we have additional one on the side, on the top and the bottom. So you can just go 1, 2, 3, and 4, place one on the bottom right here and on the top, and do the same on the other side. So go 1 block away from the actual campfire and 4 blocks upwards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Grab yourself another piece and just place it over here. Then grab yourself the trapdoor, place them on these fences right here, and of course we're going to use a spruce slab or pretty much same block that you use for the fences and of course for the trapdoors, and place it right there. Just gives it a bit more of the height variation and it looks a lot cooler, and we are done as far as the pig goes. And now we get to my personal favorite, which is the upside down spiders. Basically what you want to do for this is of course have a little room which is going to have a ceiling, otherwise just spiders floating in the air upside down doesn't really look that great. So just go ahead and make a little temporary wall over here. Since this is just a showcase, I'm not going to build a full-fledged room, but you can just do something like that. You want to decide where you actually want to put in your spiders. I'm gonna be using 2 kinds of spiders, a normal spider and a cave spider, which is a bit smaller. So at least want to kinda spread them out, maybe have a little cave spider right over here in this corner. So just go ahead and close everything off, just like so, and we're going to go to the top, that way we can kinda place this a little bit easier. Put in your cave spider, go ahead, name it, and go ahead and just close this off. You can see from the bottom it's going to look really amazing. If you kinda go to the top over here, you're going to see they're not actually connected to the actual ceiling. So you want to make sure that the ceiling is at least 5 or 6 blocks tall, otherwise from a certain angle when it's 4 blocks tall, it's gonna look a little weird because the spider is not actually connected to the ceiling. Since the cave spiders are a lot smaller, you are going to need a bigger area for the normal spider, which is just going to be a 2x2 little cage, and of course you can just surround this and of course have a ceiling on top of this, that way the spider can't escape, but that's pretty much all there is for this video. If you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe if you're new. It's completely free, takes only a couple seconds and helps the channel out tremendously. If you think any of your friends would enjoy this type of content, make sure to share with them, but as always, I really hope